What is up, everybody? JG back at you with another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Fortnite Ranked and what the mode needs the most
I'm sitting on top of
to
this
stay sustainable in the future. Let's jump in.
Oh my god.
Alright guys, so today, as you heard in the intro, we're going to be talking about Fortnite Ranked.
Bro, this guy just,
And the reason
I had him one shot.
I've come up with this video is because Ranked is
I got one hurt.
obviously kind of been a controversial thing ever since it's come out in the game.
Okay, he's down.
And I have a very basic way that I think this mode can be fixed. As today we're going to talk about what needs to change in Ranked.
Wait, what is that skin?
As we know,
you're gonna have trouble
Ranked has been busy for, we've had it for Reload, and we have it for BR and Zero Build every season. We have Reload for both BR, for both builds and Zero Builds every season. The Getaway had builds and Zero Builds ranked, but got removed due to low player count. Same happened with OG builds and Zero Builds. You get the point. So I want to touch on something on Ranked that I feel is very important that we have not gotten. And Fortnite needs this, and not enough people have been encouraging Fortnite to do this. Listen. I feel like the game is starting to go back on the uptrend after being on a long downtrend. Where Fortnite was in Chapter 6 Season 2 Lawless is completely different than now. And I say that the game is a lot better now since that time. Obviously Chapter 5 is worse than Chapter 6 Season 2. All of it really, except for Season 1. But one thing that has been the same throughout all those seasons is Ranked. And Ranked needs to have some changes. It needs to be different, okay? And what do I mean by it needs to be different? What needs to change? You probably ask, what is important to change in this mode? Well, the main thing I've touched on that needs to be changed is we need to have competitive base loopholes. Because
I don't know if the emergency
in past seasons of Fortnite, a lot of the quote-unquote nonsense has been in Ranked. What I mean by the nonsense is Chapter 5 Season 4, the jetpacks that were stupid broken. It was a lottery game. If you had them, you win the game. If you don't, you're done. You lose. And then the Buffoon Blade and the Buffoon Bat. I'm making a joke, but you get the point. The Bat and the Sword that did their stupid exploits, you know, those were in Ranked. The repeater gun that it's very spammy, all those are in rank, right? And that needs to be gone. Those can't be in the game. Rank needs to be treated like competitive and not pubs. And this season, thankfully, because Ranked does not have any nonsense, or even pubs doesn't have any nonsense, there's nothing overpowered yet.
Got him hurt. Hold on.
Probably still won't be.
Got him.
Ranked is really fun to play because of that. Okay?
Pop this thing.
But there have been times, like I said, where there's nonsense in Ranked.
What'd you get, buddy?
And I think the biggest thing with Ranked right now is the first priority that Fortnite needs to look at when they evaluate Ranked is
so mad, bro.
Don't put it into LTMs, because I think they already know that though. Getaway LTM, they tried it, didn't work. OG doesn't work. I think Ranked should just stay for Reload and BR. Maybe Blitz Royale. Maybe. I don't know. I think they should actually try that. Maybe Blitz Royale though. Even though Blitz Royale feels like a bad mode for Ranked, because Blitz Royale is going to be what feels like an LTM mode. People say it's a permanent mode, but it feels like an LTM to me. They're treating it like one. Like one week we have different themed weapons, another week we have different themed weapons. I don't know how that's going to be ranked, you know?
Severe thunderstorm watch counts. Okay.
But yeah, they need to split
so here's
loopholes.
what went down. So those two guys that killed you, that came, and there's two guys that came, I actually got
And what I mean by that is, for example, what they should have done in past seasons, Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 1, was the explosive repeater rifle and the Typhoon Blade are not in ranked, right? Or Season 2, the Capper Bat isn't on the ranked.
And the first one I got, I'm like, hold on, got him.
And whatever other nonsense that
we're gonna
is
go back
not
into Star, 'cause they got
take really much skill.
There's a gold
right?
sentinel pump, and then mythic.
And I guess you can say this season,
Unstable
if there's
crossfire
one thing
shot.
that could be vaulted from ranked,
Where's the
I don't
landing?
know.
I need to get a pass.
I don't think zero build ranked really is that bad this season. I think it's pretty good actually for the first time in quite a while.
Yeah, the SUV.
And I have an interesting way that Fortnite can really make ranked a lot better, because I feel like builds is more of a struggle than zero builds. Obviously, we know that base boost and the tracking scanner.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I believe one more thing. It was like the crypto treat or something. I think it was that were removed from builds like competitive tournaments. That needs to translate into ranked builds. Okay. Because hitting someone through a wall and breaking their wall for a base boost, I know I don't play builds, but with that base boost, hitting someone through a wall and taking their wall doesn't take any skill. You just throw the thing, it does it for you. Okay. Throwing a crypto street and breaking someone's builds and making them fly out of it doesn't take skill either. And scanning somebody in their box doesn't take skill either. Those are non-skill items that are in rank that need to be split up. And here's a solution on where Fortnite can start if they really want to split up loopholes really well. Ranked will be a lot better if first, zero build and build loot pools are split up. So for example, shockwaves, not in builds, never in builds. You can't get them from shrines, you can't get them, no nothing, no shockwaves.
What?
Base boost, gone in builds, for good.
What? No, dude.
What else could we say that's in there? Crypto treats, gone from builds.
Okay, blow up my house.
You know, and I think that would actually hype up zero build more.
There you go.
Because if people wanted to use stuff like the base boost, they can go into zero build to use it. Because what this makes is for a meta that doesn't have to have stuff unnecessarily nerfed. Like, do we really think that the structure damage nerf is necessary to zero builds for the base boost? It's not. No, it is to builds.
What do you think?
This is why I would like Fortnite to think about this, splitting builds and zero builds. Because if that's never in builds, the base boost, zero builds isn't affected by structure damage, right? They're not gonna nerf the crypto trait, they can just remove it, you know? So crypto treat's not in builds. I know it's not really good for zero builds, but it would never have to be nerfed, you know? It's just kind of that effect on what they're trying to do, okay? And we have seen poor ranked management ruin seasons. For example, Wrecked. Because of the overpowered cars, they had to nerf them.
Oh wait, that's their NPC.
They just weren't ranked, which they actually ended up splitting loopholes, but it was too late. The season was already a long gone loss of a disaster. When they split the loopholes, everything was still nerfed, so it didn't matter, right? But imagine Wrecked of how good of a season it could have been if Pubs was the screw around, let's go run around in cars, have fun with these overpowered cars for the whole season.
Just let them. They're chilling. They're just camping.
Right, and let's go. Whatever else. Let's go Nitro Fist people.
If they're camping, just let them fight.
All that crazy overpowered shit. Bagita power.
We don't need to fight.
But then, in ranked, it's all gone. Okay, they never nerfed the cars probably. They never add freaking boogie bombs. Maybe they add EMPs. They don't add anything else though, right? So, the main take I want you to get from this video is ranked will be better if they remove
I've also had some annoying situations where
bad items for the mode. They remove pubs and ranked loopholes being the same. They split builds and zero builds. That way that things that don't deserve to be nerfed in one mode don't ever get nerfed. That way that, you know, ranked can be more stable and be more played. Because there's a reason that pubs and builds is a lot more played than ranked. For example. These are all very doable things. And look, if you're watching this video, I think a lot of those things would help. I'll give you a quick brief explanation before you end this video. Split builds and zero builds. That way that you can balance your metas for each mode separately and everybody's happy. Make pubs, loot pools, and rank loot pools.
Those other guys were using
rank can have no nonsense. Pubs can have the nonsense.
They tried it,
okay? And it can even go the other way, as ranked loot pools are the same as.
Can you? So after I scan, I'm gonna tell you to pick up my tracking visor because what it's gonna do is it literally you get to dodge the cooldown.
But anyway, that is
So
going to be it
after
for
I
this
scan,
video
I'm gonna
today.
have you pick it up so I can just scan
Make sure
right
to like
again.
and subscribe so you don't miss content like this. We have an update tomorrow, so stay tuned. Have your noties on.
So
Thank you
when I
guys for
scan
watching
next
this video.
time,
Hope
right
you
after
guys
I
enjoyed
scan,
this.
I'm gonna
And I'll
drop you
see
my
you guys
traffic visor, and then if
the
you
next
drop
one.
me it back,
Peace.
we avoid the cooldown.